Wow, check this out. I'm in front of the Birdcage Theater here in Tombstone, Arizona. Wait, something's a little strange here. I'm not in Tombstone, Arizona. This is Larry from Be Yourself Adventures. I'm actually at Knott's Berry Farm, getting ready to check out some rides and check out the whole park. Today is January 13th, 2024, so come and join me. Always be yourself. Where over here behind me is a bottle house. This bottle house is a prime example for the way they used to manufacture some homes back in the day. They would take the old 1800s bottles and they would actually put them in some type of adobe, clay or what have you, and they would actually build their homes and would keep it very warm during the winter time and very cool during the summertime. So it's very interesting that here at Knott's Berry Farm they have a bottle house. Wow.
Blacksmith comes from the old English word smite, which means to hit or strike. Now, you can have a coppersmith, you can have a goldsmith, but because I work with the black metal, we are called blacksmiths. Now, what is the black metal, folks? That would be steel or iron. Back, Dana, you're awesome.
We got like Doc Holliday, Bat Masterson, Jesse James, and who else we got? I don't know, we got a lot of the old Western heroes or outlaws, as you would say. Check this out. Some of these artifacts are so cool. How would you like to have one of these old Victrolas? RCA. That's cool. And this looks like when they put this metal thing on it and it has little grooves in it. So it's kind of like a music box. And I don't know if this was before the records started coming out or after, but it's really cool. Look at this music. It's kind of like almost like a piano per se. But look at this, the old cash register. Let's see, this one, yeah, late 1890s, the early 1920s. Wow. Look at all these. There's Jesse James up there, Calamity Jane. That's who the other one I was trying to think of. Arizona Rangers, 1903. Now here I come to an amusement park. And here I go with my interest with the Old West, the 1800s. I mean, that's just basically, it's a part of my life, it's part of my heritage. So it's always good to keep history alive and keep it going, keep it strong. Now look at this, how cool is that, a music box. Imagine back in the days, like in the saloons or stuff like that, they had these things going. Or when they had like elite parties or things like that. Now, I don't know if there's any Winchesters in here, but you got the Star single action. That's the Army. They got the Navy. They got the Colt. Let's see, the Remington. So Remington and Winchester, you think back in the day, those were really well sought after guns during the Old West and the Civil War. All right, let's go walk around. Let's go check over here. Oh, this is great. This is like a little pocket gun here. It's like a boot gun. You just pull it out, single shot, boom. That's it. And this represents some of the mining. I don't know if they would have that many horses or mules pulling this, but that's pretty interesting display, kind of depicting on something like that. Oh, check this out. Wow, this is 100 years old. This was $1,000 wedding gift to her mother, donated by Mrs. Gladys Boggs. Wow. And this has a machine. It's kind of like a setup as a piano, the string instrument, playing the fiddle. That's really neat. I have never seen anything like that. I have one of these at my house, believe it or not. It was my grandmother's, my son's great grandmother. This is a coffee grinder. So basically they take the beans, put it on top, crank it really hard, and then when it's done, they pull out the little cabinet, and then you have your grounds, your coffee grounds. This was so popular, during the late 1800s up until the early 1900s when they used stuff like this. Incredible. And check out the arrowheads. So I wasn't expecting this kind of museum coming in here, but this makes the trip. You got some more of the old mining stuff. These are kind of cool back in the days. They're kind of 3D postcards. You put them in and it actually shows like a 3D image. If you see right here, here's some old cameras, probably early 1900s. Some of the polished rocks. That's pretty neat. All right, let's look at the branding irons. Right here are some of the ones they use for cattle, and they represent their ranch. So you can see right here, this branding iron, CP Connected, was formerly owned by Claire Peason of Knott, California. It's hard to read here. Now owned by C. Philpott of San Francisco, California, 1961. So a lot of this stuff is donated by people, their families, and what have you. So, I mean, look at all these. So many different branding irons that represents, the cattle ranchers. So if you just get a bird's eye view, this is the museum. Let's see what it says here. It says, "Welcome, folks. Make yourself at home. See one of the world's most unusual museums, packed with rafters with the odds and ends and bric and brac of another time. The results of a man's effort to preserve and record our great American West." No better words. I mean, if you guys want to look at this and pause it, you guys can read it. But yeah, I want to show you guys one more thing. I just noticed. See, we got over here. Back in the day of Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, even a lot of gunfighters and the saloon gamblers, what have you, these would be actual playing cards, not these. They didn't have numbers or K's for kings or anything else like that. They had it like this, like spades. So this is, if you think about it, 8 of spades, and you got 4, 9 of spades, 5 of spades, 4, 3, 2, and you get the ace of spades. They didn't put numbers on these back in the day. So if you think about it, it's really interesting. All right, guys. Well, that's it for the museum. I hope you guys enjoy this little artifact history of the Americana Old West. All right, guys, always be yourself.
But after this, we can get
Yeah, so there's just tons of history behind this ride. So again, we were the first themed dark ride where it had like a slow ride through. On top of that, it was the first ride to have the integrated queue line where the queue line's hidden from the outside. Because the guy who engineered this ride was a guy named Bud Hurlbut. He was great friends with Walt Disney. Basically, they would share ideas back and forth. So Bud Hurlbut designed this ride and Log Ride. So Log Ride was actually the very first log flume ride in America. And it was designed, and basically Splash Mountain at Disneyland is designed off of our log flume ride.
How long has this ride been here?
I don't know the exact year, but I think around 1955.
Really?
Anywhere between the mid to late 1950s to early 1960s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest rides here, behind the railroad, of course, and
yeah.
the stagecoach.
Definitely. Thank you. Have a good one. All right, look, that's going to do it for Be Yourself Adventures. Until next time, we're going to hit the trails, have fun in Knott's Berry Farm, watching the roller coasters go by, watching the rapids go by. All right, and you guys haven't checked out the other videos, go ahead. I'll leave a link down below. All right, so always be yourself. Peace.